During the Great Depression, women across America started wearing flour sacks? No, really. The same cotton sacks that once held wheat, sugar, and livestock feed were being turned into dresses, aprons, quilts, and in some cases, entire wardrobes. But this wasn't just a story of economic desperation, it was one of the earliest examples of how smart branding, packaging design, and empathy-driven marketing could change the way that people feel about a product, even when that product is literally a sack of flour. So what does this have to do with your business? Today on Etsy v History, we're diving into one of the most heartwarming and strategic examples of packaging innovation, and how a bunch of cotton grain bags taught us that presentation is everything. The year is 1933. The US is in the thick of the Great Depression. Jobs are scarce, money is tight, and for many families, even basic necessities like clothing are out of reach. Enter the humble flour sack. Back then, companies packaged bulk goods like grain, sugar, and animal feed in woven cotton sacks, something the average homemaker quickly realized could be repurposed. Talk about upcycling. Women saw the value in keeping these fabrics that would otherwise be thrown away, and many began crafting the sacks into dresses, towels, diapers, and more. Now, obviously, the grain companies never imagined this turn of events. At first, the sacks were plain white and covered in logos, as you would imagine a big sack of flour would be. But these innovative women didn't care. In fact, they bleached them, scrubbed them, and stitched them into usable garments anyway, creating useful items from what others might have considered trash during a time when many were going without. And the grain and flour companies began to take notice. That's when a few smart marketing executives had a brilliant idea. What if they made the sacks pretty on purpose? Flour companies like Gingham Girl, Southern States, and the Kansas Wheat Company began printing their sacks with soft florals, charming ginghams, and pastel patterns. Some even included pre-drawn cutting guides so that women could turn a single bag into a ready-to-sew garment. They also switched to inks that faded easily with a quick wash, so the company logo wouldn't show through the final product. It was one of the first times in history that product packaging was intentionally designed to be repurposed, not just to reduce waste, but to increase perceived value of their products. And it worked. These patterned sacks became so popular that women would shop based solely on the cute bag design, not just the brand. Families would even send their husbands to the store with specific instructions. Don't get bleached flour, get the sack with the blue roses. Some women proudly wore dresses made from their favorite flour brand. Others sold their handmade pieces for extra income. And suddenly, a simple commodity product became both fashion and a symbol of resilience. So let's connect the dots to a modern-day handcrafted small business. The flour companies didn't change their actual product. They didn't improve the flour. They didn't change the grain. They changed the presentation. And in doing so, they aligned their product with what people actually needed. Not just food, but dignity, usefulness, and beauty. In modern business terms, this is what we call emotional branding. These companies position themselves not just as flour providers, but as partners in survival. And in return, they earn the loyalty of millions of American women. Now, you might be thinking, cool history, Starla, but I'm not in the flour business, so this doesn't apply to me. But here's the thing. In the eyes of your customers, your product might be one of many in a crowded aisle. Your product is a bag of flour sitting on the store shelf next to millions of other bags of flour. And those customers, whether they're 1930s women or Etsy shoppers browsing online, are looking at price, function, and maybe even thinking, I can get this anywhere. But packaging presentation, story, that's where you create your own demand. Just like the Kansas Wheat Company, you have the power to increase the perceived value of your product without changing the product itself. Your packaging, your photos, your branding, your insert cards, your product descriptions, these aren't just extras, they're the modern-day floral prints on a flour sack. They're the difference between just another thing and something worth wearing, sharing, or being remembered. And when you understand your customers' needs, and I mean really understand them, you can present your product in a way that makes them feel seen. It's not just about selling, it's about showing that you care. So what can we learn from the women who turned flour sacks into dresses? That function is just the beginning, but the meaning is what sells. That a basic product can become a bestseller if it's wrapped in a story people connect with. And that in hard times, people gravitate towards comfort, beauty, and utility. A trifecta that you can build into your own brand too. Whether you're creating handmade jewelry, candles, clothing, or art, think about your packaging the same way those flour companies did. Ask yourself, can your product become something more than just a product? Can your packaging serve a second purpose? Can your story make a customer feel something? That's the legacy of the flour sack dress, and it's a legacy we can all learn from. If you found this Etsy V History episode inspiring, let me know in the comments, because these stories are my favorite way to blend strategy with the soul of selling. They sadly don't get the views of my normal content, so engaging with the video or leaving a comment helps a ton. Until next time, Pookie.